A used black Dreamcast, the rare mid-game cube of rain, PS3 game. I bought it on eBay. My house is filled with these games. Shows up and bubble wrap, post every day. But I bought on eBay. Tell me why I need another Contra. Tell me why I bought that Sonic alarm clock. Tell me why I bid on Balan Wonderworld. They had it on eBay. What I bought on eBay. Hey, welcome to the channel. This is MattCam89. I hope you enjoyed that song that I put together for you. And if you haven't guessed, this is a video about games that I picked up via eBay in the past couple months. Some of these are a couple months old, and some of them are as new as just coming in yesterday. So let's get right into it. I have a good variety of consoles represented here today. And one thing that I'm not showing in the video, but I did pick up on eBay, was a Nintendo GameCube. Unfortunately, it was not the one that I featured in that song. That one is going for about $700, so that's about $650 out of my price range. So I ended up going with a plain silver one that was a good deal. It was around that $40 mark. So did not come with a game, but it came with a controller. That I did get on eBay, but I'm not. It's all hooked up in my setup, and I didn't feel like pulling it out. But I do have some good games here, and the first one is a Japanese N64 title, and that is Mario Party 2. This is a fantastic game. Loved it as a kid, and still love it as an adult. And the reason why I went with the Japanese version is cost. The English version just costs a lot of money. This I ended up paying $8 for, which is a fraction of what the North American version goes for. But if you don't know, you don't have to know Japanese to play this. If you've played Mario Party before, you can easily navigate the menus to be able to get this game going, no problem. So you don't need to know Japanese in order to get this going. If you have a North American N64, you can still play this. You will notice on the back that the bottom notches are a little bit different. So it does require a little bit of a modification, or you can purchase an adapter that'll allow you to play Japanese games without any modification. But if you don't want to buy that adapter, it's pretty easy. You just kind of bore out a little bit of plastic in that slot, and this will sit in there no problem and play. And then you can get a lot of these games that cost a lot of money, a lot cheaper getting the Japanese version. The next game is also a Japanese N64 title. That is Mario Kart 64. Again, you don't need to know Japanese in order to play this. Easily navigate the menus and get this going, no problem. If you watch my latest Video Games Monthly, I actually got a North American copy in that box, so that was a great surprise. So obviously that version has replaced this one in my household, and that game does get played quite a bit. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to end up selling this one. May not be worth it. I only paid $12 for this, so I may just keep it just because I like how it looks. It's a nice, clean copy. And, you never know. Maybe a backup or things like that. All right. That's it for N64. The next game is a Wii U title. And if you watched my free consoles video, I ended up getting a Nintendo Wii U for free. From a family member. Thank you very much if you're watching this video as well. And it did come with one game, but I wanted to get a couple of other games so that I can, have a decent Wii U collection. And surprisingly, Wii U games are pretty cheap to collect for. Most of them anyways. Obviously, there's a few out there that are up there in price. And the first title is Call of Duty Black Ops. And for a lot of people, this is actually the preferred version. It does perform a little bit better and look a little better than its counterparts. The one thing that I will say is I have not been able to get any multiplayer games going on this. So I don't know if there's a specific day or time that I got to try. You can let me know in the comment section below. However, the play PS3 version, I can pretty much get a game at any time. But I did want this for the Wii U. I owned it for the Wii U back in the day and had a lot of fun with it. So I definitely wanted it back in the collection. That is Call of Duty Black Ops. This one is not complete in box, unfortunately, but very clean copy. And I actually had purchased this originally through GameStop. However, they sent me a copy that did not work, along with a few other games that did not work, which I also had a video out on that as well, because it was quite a bit of games that I had to send back. They just didn't work. And then they sent other games that didn't work. And yeah, it took a long time to get that resolved. The next title is a PlayStation 3 title. Loved it back in the day, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. Actually, capturing footage for this, I ended up was just kind of messing around and just having fun. I love the fire effects in this game and the sound effects. And if you've played Far Cry before, it's a lot of the same. The only thing that I don't like about this particular one is the whole malaria mechanic. Didn't like it back in the day. Still don't like it. I'm glad that they didn't do anything like that in other versions of Far Cry. Also not complete in box, but the case and the disc are in good condition. This one, it was a charity auction, and a lot of times with those auctions, they don't, sometimes they don't put pictures, so it's kind of like a gamble. You typically will get it cheaper than other auctions, but you just never know what you're going to get. But it's the same as buying from GameStop, because you don't know what you're going to get. You know, at least this disc works. You know, what GameStop sent me that didn't work. The next title is also a PlayStation 3 title, and this is Warhawk for the PlayStation 3. And it's the greatest hits version, but that's okay. It's complete in box, come with a nice manual and the disc. And the biggest drawback with this game is obviously that it is multiplayer only, so there is no single player campaign. It does have local play, so you can actually do LAN parties, and you can also do 4-player split screen on a single console. So I am planning a LAN party in February, and we're going to be doing Halo. So depending on how that LAN party goes is going to determine what other LAN parties that I'm going to be doing. And if that goes well, I have a few PlayStation 3s. I'm going to get a couple more copies of these, and then we're going to do 4 players per console. Try to get at least 12 players, and this will be a great time. If you're not familiar with Warhawk, it's a mini Battlefield, but more arcade style. And I'll have gameplay footage so you can see a little bit. But you can be infantry, tanks, jeeps, airplanes. It was a lot of fun back in the day. I'm really hoping that there's some sort of unofficial server that's still going and people are still joining and playing. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research after this video and figure that out, because this is a great game. Love it. Warhawk, PS3. And yeah, once in a while I do community events, so you know, if there's an unofficial server, I'll let you guys know when I'll be playing, and we can link up together. All right, the next title is a Wii U title, and for those of you that have been watching my videos, you're gonna notice that this game comes in my mystery boxes quite a bit, but I had to get the Wii U version because it was so cheap, and I kind of like to see the differences of how the Wii U version looks compared to some others, you know. So this is Assassin's Creed 3 for the Nintendo Wii U. And I promise you, I am going to play this game at some point. Whether I play the PS3 or this version, I am going to play this game. I don't think I've ever received so many of the same copies of the same game before in my life, but this game just it loves me for some reason. This particular one, let's see if it is complete in box. Oh, the manual is pretty thin. I want to say thinner than the PlayStation 3 version there. But yeah, I'm going to check it out on both the PlayStation 3 and Wii U and see what the differences are. I got this game for $3. That's why I ended up picking it up. It's very cheap, nice clean copy. Assassin's Creed 3, Nintendo Wii U. All right, the next game. Now I don't typically buy a lot of sports games, but I had to buy this one. It is a Wii U title. And the reason why I bought it is because it's the only Madden game on the Nintendo Wii U, so I had to have it. I got it pretty cheap, and that is Madden 13 for the Nintendo Wii U. I mean, I don't need to explain too much of it. It's an American football game. So I enjoyed it back in the day. I know it has some pretty cool features with the gamepad. I think you could actually draw like new routes and stuff. I could be wrong. Um, but uh, but yeah, the for the Nintendo Wii U, Madden 13. All right, the next game is a PlayStation 3 title. This is my favorite racing series of all time. You know, not that I'm a huge racing guy, and you can let me know in the comment section below if you disagree with me. But I absolutely love this series, the first, second, and third one at least. And this one in particular, I really enjoy. And that is MotorStorm Pacific Rift. I don't understand why Sony has not revisited this franchise, why they haven't remastered it, but this game is just so much fun. Um, this one also allows split screen, so this is typically the one that I would recommend if you could only get one of the three. I usually would recommend this one. The third one is a lot of fun as well. So either or that you go with, I think you have a good time. The first one is fun, but it's single player only, so it kind of like ruins it a little bit. But this one will allow split screen, multiplayer, and things of that nature. Very fun game. This one is also complete in box. Has a manual on the disc. I just love this game. It is so much fun. You know, and even when you crash, it's just funny. And you know, you know, I have games like Gran Turismo 7 and things like that, and I understand that they're a different type of game. They're your simulation game. It's just, I don't know. For me, they're not really fun. So you get an arcade style game like this. It's just off the walls, and it's just a good time. Uh, yeah, MotorStorm Pacific Rift. I'm really hoping that Sony brings this back. It would be awesome to see on a PlayStation 5 or their next console. The next title is a Wii U title. And to be honest, it's one of those games where it's worth buying the system just for that one game. So if I didn't have any other Wii U game, but this one, I'd be pretty happy still. And this is Xenoblade Chronicles X. I never finished it back in the day. So I am excited to get this back. And I do have my Wii U modified, so I was able to connect to the server to get all the updates. Because with this game, there was a bunch of HD patches that you had to download manually so that the game would look better. You could obviously play it without it, but you know, who wants to play with subpar graphics? You want the best that the console could handle. And unfortunately, those were on the Nintendo servers, which the Wii U servers are no longer available. So now you have to get it by unofficial means. I'm pretty sure it did come with a manual. This specific one does not have the manual. But the disc and the case itself is in great condition. If you like RPGs, if you like mechs and things of that nature, I could never really get into the other Xenoblade games because of the setting. Never really interests me, but the mech style of this particular version just always caught my eye. So I'm hoping one day I can get the collector's edition because that looks to be a lot of fun, but a little bit out of my price range at the moment. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Nintendo Wii U, definitely recommend it. The next game is a PlayStation 2 game, and this is also a game actually I was able to play with my daughter. We did LAN and did the instant action together, and that is Star Wars Battlefront 2. And if you've watched my other videos, actually my thrifting video, you'll notice that I already had a version of this one. However, it was the greatest hits version, and that one, unfortunately, there's some sort of bug on it where it cannot be played on a backwards compatible PS3, or at least my version of the backwards compatible PS3. The game would freeze, so it would load into the game, into a match or whatever, and then it would freeze a few seconds into the match, no matter what I did. It would play no problem on my PlayStation 2 Slim, so I know it wasn't the disc. Um, but doing a little bit of research, come to find out, but I guess that was a bug with the greatest hits version. So I went on eBay, got the non-greatest hits version. It is complete in box, nice thick manual. You gotta love the manuals of those days. And disc is in great shape. And lo and behold, it works perfectly fine on my backwards compatible PS3. So whatever reason, they did something, that the backwards compatible PS3s just don't like. This is an awesome game. If you have never played any of the Battlefront games, definitely revisit the original and the second one. Whether you have PlayStation 2, if you have an original Xbox, or if you have the new Xbox Series consoles, you can still play these versions. Um, in my opinion, the Xbox versions are the definitive way to play both Battlefront 1 and 2. But these are still acceptable. If all you have is a PlayStation 2, this is still great. You still have all the game modes and things like that. It just doesn't look as good, and it doesn't support as many players and AI bots and things like that as the Xbox versions. But yeah, awesome game. Definitely recommend it. The next one is a PlayStation 3 title, and that is Flashpoint Red River. I got this, I want to say about a week ago. I still have to get the other Operation Flashpoint, but I actually enjoy this one a little bit more. So I decided to get this one first, and eventually I'll get the other one, when the budgets allow. But this is a great game. It is not a Call of Duty game. It is not a Medal of Honor game. You definitely have to have a different mindset when you're playing with this game. It is a little bit more tactical. I wouldn't say it's as hard as the original Rainbow Six games or Ghost Recon games, but it's kind of in that vein where it's a little bit more difficult, and you have to be a little bit more tactical in your decision makings, and there's definitely more of a consequence if you go in there guns a-blazing. But a good time. It is better played, in my opinion, co-op. Back in the day, I used to have a buddy that I used to play this with. As you can see, it's complete in box, and it was a lot of fun. You could do 2 to 4 players co-op, but it does have a single player campaign. You can do missions as well, kind of like side missions. So there is a lot of replayability if you like these slower, more tactical games. But I would say it's still a little bit more fast-paced, still a little bit more forgiving than your older Rainbow Six Ghost Recon games. But it's definitely a good game to get into. Operation Flashpoint Red River for the PS3. Alright, the next game is a PlayStation 2 title, and that is Star Wars Battlefront. I ended up getting both of these together. It was a great auction. Rather cheap. I ended up paying like $15 for both of these games, and they're complete in box as well. Actually, the disc is not in there because it's actually in my my backwards compatible PS3. I was playing it the other day, and plays no problem on there, so no issue with that. But this is a great version as well. A lot of the same. Um, awesome game. Definitely recommend it. Again, like I said, play it on the Xbox. If you have a newer console, you can play it on there. So the Series S, Series X, Xbox One, Xbox One S, all those generational consoles as well. You can play it on there, and they did a great job upscaling those games, so they look really great. That's the definitive way to play those games. But like I said, if all you have is a PS2 or a backwards compatible PS3, this is a perfectly acceptable way to play these games. They look good, they play well, surprisingly well, in my opinion, considering a lot of the action that's happening on screen for a PlayStation 2 does a really good job. It's not perfect. There was one match that I was playing on the PS3 where there were a little bit of graphical glitches, but it didn't affect the gameplay, so it didn't bother me. All right, the next game is a Nintendo Wii U title, also a Call of Duty Ghost. Kind of in that same vein, I think for some people they prefer this version. It just looks a little bit better. Doesn't necessarily perform better than your counterparts, PS3 and Xbox 360, but it is known to look sharper, at least. I've been playing the campaign of this on the Nintendo Wii U, and I've been having a lot of fun with this. I actually like Call of Duty Ghosts. The great thing about both Ghosts and Black Ops 2 is even though you can't get, a match online, you can still play against bots. So it definitely makes these games, still playable in 2023, even though the online you can't really do it. And it's not because you can't; it's just there's no players. So the PS3 version, I think I was still able to get a match, but I wasn't able to get on this game. This game is, again, I don't know if it actually ever came with a manual, but that's what I got. So you can let me know in the comment section below whether this one in Black Ops comes with a manual, but it doesn't. All right, we are down to our last game, and I was playing this game to capture footage. And as much as I love the IP, I do not have high hopes for this game. It did not get good ratings, but if you know me on this channel, you know that I like a lot of bad games. So I'm still gonna play through it and I still give it a shot. But I wasn't too impressed with the opening mission as I was capturing footage for this game. It was a little janky. There wasn't much going on screen, but yet the frame rate didn't seem good and the controls are not too great. So, but I think I'm just gonna plow through it just because I like the anime so much. And that is Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire for the PlayStation 3. This one, I believe, is complete in box. I could be wrong. It is not. It's just a disc. You may have seen that I purchased this game in another video. And that one I also purchased via eBay. And unfortunately, the problem with me sometimes is I buy these games and it takes me a while to get to them. So by the time I was able to get to that game and realize that it didn't work, even though the disc is very clean and really nothing on there, scratches wise, that would make you think it wouldn't work. The game wouldn't work. And it was already way past the return date or whatever. So I ended up just buying another copy. And that version actually was not in a case. It was just a loose disc. I got it rather cheaply. But this one came in the case, so just missing the manual, but not a big deal. That is Gundam Crossfire for the PlayStation 3, and that is everything that I've gotten in the past couple months. Not everything for the entire year, but this video is already long enough. I didn't want to make it any longer, so I just did kind of the more recent stuff and things that I haven't really shown. I may have shown some of the N64 stuff, but that's about it. Thank you for watching this video. Please let me know in the comment section below what you've recently picked up from eBay. I'd love to, hear about what you guys have been finding, whether it's through thrifting or yard sales or eBay. Let me know what type of deals that you've been able to find and share that with me. I'd love to see what other people are getting, and let me know. What do you think was my best pickup from eBay from this pile, anyways? Um, Honestly, for me, it's tough to decide because these are obviously games that I wanted. So they're games that I knew that I would enjoy, or at least think I would enjoy. I think the game that I'm probably most excited to play will probably be Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm kind of waiting for a time that maybe a vacation time where I can really dig into that game because that game does require some time. So that's one I'll save that one for. But very happy with a lot of these games here. But anyways, if you're seeing this in the new year, happy new year. And as always, God bless and happy gaming.